Greetings, and welcome to LGR Quickies Reinvigorated. And yes, this is a series that I attempted to do several years ago, and you may or may not remember it. I barely remember it, but I still like the idea, even though I stopped doing it because I stopped liking the idea. They just really weren't different enough from my normal reviews to continue doing. But these are going to be. It's basically just me talking about a game or something related for a few minutes at a time, not doing fully fleshed out reviews, just a quickie, you know? It's not the full experience, but it still can be a lot of fun, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get to today's quickie, and that is going to be on a game called Dim Bones, or Dim Bonds, if you look at the title. And yes, this is on a very high quality label here from my childhood. I marked out my name. I wrote the name of the game in pencil, or maybe it was my brother. I'm not entirely sure, because we both played this game largely because he was into the idea of the game of dominoes at the time, specifically the physical ones, and you couldn't always find someone to play with. I know I would rather just play a game on a computer alone instead of against him, so we had this game, Dim Bones. And this was something that was downloaded, I think, through AOL. Either that or a bulletin board system, I'm not entirely sure. Either way, the game came out in 1995 for MS-DOS, and it was created by Barry Sargent. You know, VGA graphics and MS-DOS and basically monochromatic, and I love that kind of stuff. Even though the game is incredibly simple, it had this really neat title screen that just dithered in very slowly, even on a 486, and it was just neat to see all of the bones creating the characters for the title screen there. And then it had that unmistakable look of high-resolution VGA mode for MS-DOS with the text and everything, and the way the lines looked so sharp on a CRT, and it just looked good for what it was. I'm not saying it's a good-looking game, because it's really not. In fact, if anything, it's inspired by Nels Anderson's Mahjong game for MS-DOS from the late 80s. In fact, Mr. Sargent for Dim Bones in the README said that it was inspired by that as far as the aesthetic of the game, that sort of pseudo 3D look to each one of the dominoes themselves. But yeah, doesn't really matter, because this is a game that we played and it passed the time. I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it, except that for whatever reason it sticks in my mind. And part of it has to do with this hideously ugly floppy disk. It's uglier than anything else I've ever kept around. It looks like there's wallpaper paste on it and maybe a few boogers. It's just really gross. And the game has a similar feeling to me. It's not saying the game is gross, but the game is primitive. And this is the shareware version. There was a registered one that you could get for $15. We never obviously got it, because $15 on a friggin' dominoes game, I don't think so. Even though it's a very solid game for what it is. You try to clear out your hand of dominoes before everyone else. And there's some scoring involved depending on how you place them around the board. And you have to connect the similar pips to each other. It's dominoes. I don't want to explain dominoes here. I do want some pizza, though. Pizza would be nice, but I don't think we're here to talk about pizza exactly. One final thing that brought Dim Bones to mind in later years, other than this ugly floppy disk, was when I moved to the Caribbean, to the country of St. Lucia, just living on the island there and becoming involved in the culture and everything, and I came across Slam Dominoes, or Slam Doms. It's basically the exact same thing that you'd play in Dim Bones, maybe with slightly different rules, but 4 different people sitting around a card table with some dominoes, and when you had something to place down, you didn't just plop it down intricately in a line in a neat little row like you see in Dim Bones or normal games of it. You just slam it right down on the table, everything gets messed up, and it gets really heated. Everybody's just bam, 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 slamming it all around the table, and it's really, it's entertaining to watch, even though it shouldn't be, because it's just a game of dominoes. And that brought to mind Dim Bones, because this was really like my only experience with dominoes, or at least the game of it. To be honest, this is still about the only way that I've ever played dominoes. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe I don't know. I have Dim Bones, though, so I don't really care. And it's one that I remember, and it's obscure, and it's just stuck in my head ever since. I do like it. I just don't think that I would recommend seeking it out. Even though, if you do know where you could find a registered copy, let me know. Or if anybody knows how to contact Barry Sargent, let me know. It'd be interesting to hear. Just not much information out there at all. And I'm curious. And if you, frick, I don't know. I'm done with this video now. I don't know how to end it because this is new. I guess we'll figure this out as we go along. So I'll just say, thank you very much for watching. So as I said earlier, I've been considering bringing back LGR Quickies for a long time, but in a new and even lazier style, and this was the first result. I hope you enjoyed it, but please let me know what you think though. The whole idea really is to just cover games in 5 minutes or less with no script and some basic gameplay footage, and this should let me talk about stuff that normally I wouldn't be able to, from tiny shareware games like Dem Bones to massive RPGs like The Witcher 3 and whatnot. I'll still be making normal reviews of course, and may even revisit some of these quickies in larger reviews later on, but in the meantime, this should let me release my thoughts on way more stuff. And once again, thank you very much for watching.